Hello and welcome back to Bible Wits Bible Corner. Today we're going to pick back up in Joshua chapter 10. I'm going to read verses 8 through 14, starting with the English Standard Version. And the Lord said to Joshua, "Do not fear them, for I have given them into your hands. Not a man of them shall stand before you." So Joshua came upon them suddenly, having marched up all night from Gilgal. And the Lord threw them into a panic before Israel, who struck them with a great blow at Gibeon, and chased them by the way of the ascent of Beth-horon, and struck them as far as Azekah and Makkedah. And as they fled before Israel, while they were going down the ascent of Beth-horon, the Lord threw down large stones from heaven on them as far as Azekah, and they died. There were more who died because of the hailstones than the sons of Israel killed with the sword. At that time Joshua spoke to the Lord in the day when the Lord gave the Amorites over to the sons of Israel, and said in the sight of Israel, Sun, stand still in Gibeon, and moon in the Valley of Aijalon." And the sun stood still, and the moon stopped, until the nation took vengeance on their enemies. Is this not written in the Book of Jashar? The sun stopped in the midst of heaven, and did not hurry to set for about a whole day. There has been no day like it before or since, when the Lord heeded the voice of a man, for the Lord fought for Israel. New Century Version. The Lord said to Joshua, "Don't be afraid of those armies, because I have given them over to you. None of them will be able to stand against you." Joshua and his army marched all night from Gilgal for a surprise attack. The Lord confused those armies when Israel attacked, so Israel defeated them in the great victory at Gibeon. They chased them along the road going up to Beth-horon, and killed men all the way to Azekah and Makkedah. As they chased the enemy down the Beth-horon pass to Azekah, the Lord threw large hailstones on them from the sky and killed them. More people were killed by the hailstones than by the Israelites' swords. On the day that the Lord gave up the Amorites to the Israelites, Joshua stood before all the people of Israel and said to the Lord, "Sun, stand still over Gibeon. Moon, stand still over the Valley of Aijalon." So the sun stood still, and the moon stopped, until the people defeated their enemies. These words are written in the Book of Jashar. The sun stopped in the middle of the sky and waited to go down for a full day. That has never happened at any time before, and before that day or since. That was the day the Lord listened to a human being. Truly, the Lord was fighting for Israel. Okay, so I say this quite often. It's going to get to the point where I'm just going to say the entirety of the Bible is my favorite passage. But this right here is a favorite passage of mine, because it talks about something that I'm going to say worldly scientists cannot explain. if you look at history, there is a day missing in history, and this is that day. So for a full, it does say for a full day, so for a full 24 hours, the sun did not move. and while this was happening, the Israelites were fighting, defeating the Amorite army. Now, something that I find interesting about this passage that, I've said this before too. Sometimes when we read over something and just kind of bypass it. I've read over part of this until tonight, and that is the hailstones. Well, while the Israelites were fighting the Amorites, it was hailing, I would say, on both the Israelites and the Amorites, but it was only killing the Amorites. So that tells me, at least, that God is in 100% control of the weather. He is in control of where each raindrop falls, where each snowflake falls. Every detail is thought out by God. So the sun standing still. It's recorded right here in Joshua. There is another book that recorded this from another person's point of view, saying that God listened to a human being and told the sun to stop. So, other people, I say that because it's important to see that other people saw how much faith Israel had in God, and that God was truthfully fighting for a specific nation. So, is God still fighting for a specific nation today? I would say yes, and that nation is a nation of Christians. Because God's word is not just for the Israelites anymore. It is for any and everyone that takes this book and follows what this book says. Now, people can read that book and they can misinterpret it. Satan did that when he tempted Jesus 3 times. So it is unfortunately easy to take this book and use it for selfish gain, but that is not what true Christians do. True Christians take this book and they read it and they do what God tells them to do. And that is to bring others to him, to show mercy, to show forgiveness, but also to be upfront like Jesus was. So I'm hesitating because I'm running out of words, and I apologize for that, but I do hope you find encouragement in this, and I hope you have a wonderful, God-centered day. Bye.